Lich's Apprentice, which is super cool, super fun. Our sounds are now powered by Sirenscape, which is one of the things you have to say if you're using Sirenscape and potentially going to make money off of it. So, powered by Sirenscape.
How many times do I have to say Sirenscape personally?
Well, I get 10 cents every time you do, so.
Sirenscape. There's
So
10
we have
cents.
so we have to say
Yes.
Sirenscape every time that we want to talk about Sirenscape.
Yeah, you have to say.
What
It's
if
like
I
20
don't-
cents right there.
What if I don't want to say Sirenscape?
And then that's 30.
You can hit
Yeah, I
Alt
refuse
F4
to
at any
say
time.
Sirenscape.
Sirenscape. Okay, you got 50 cents. You're
Alt
good.
F4, unfollowed.
Unsubbed on everything.
If I just say siren, do you get 5 cents?
I don't think so.
If I'll finish that, I can say Scape, and that'll give him the full 10.
So you guys should have noticed that you had a message of the day. If you need to get back to it for any reason, you click the gear in the top right and then click message of the day. It has a link to all of the different adventure logs and then anything that's kind of important. You'll notice there was a character sheet there this time. That's the young elven woman that's going to be driving your cart named Ra. So just as we go, I'll go through the adventure log super duper quickly. You guys did all your, let's see, this is session 1. Yes, okay. You guys were just kind of unwinding. You went back to the bar. You had some drinks. Russell talked to a dude in the shadows to try to get the rest of his money for having the information that they had wanted. And Karn saw 2 people come in the middle of the night and demand to see the mayor. They rode off on horseback, and he said, meet me in Bellmoral. So when you guys tried to go to Bellmoral the next day, your cart was not quite ready. Goblins had come in the middle of the night, and they destroyed some of the cart and potentially stolen a wheel. So you guys went to go deal with the goblins. You had found the wheel, and the cart was just basically fixed. And that's kind of where we start today. The cart's fixed, and you guys are just about to head off. And you can hear all the outside noises of birds and whatnot. So, unless there's anything you guys want to do, we can jump right into, like, if you guys wanted to go back to town to do something before you left, we can do that real quick. But if not, we can just get right to it.
Iron is good to go. He's happy that this wheel is finally on.
Okay. So you guys get the
Russell's
wheel.
Gonna,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Russell's gonna climb, into the back where he was before and take
Okay.
a nap again.
Okay, cool. Ra, the female elven guide, takes her seat in the front of the cart. She looks back and says, hop aboard, we haven't a moment to spare. And the innkeeper approaches the cart with a very small, like, we're talking like, I don't know, like this big chest. But it looks like a scaled down version of a full-size chest. It's fully wooden, and it has the metal ornaments on it, and it's locked. And he hands it to whoever's closest to him at the time. I'll say Karn, just because Karn knows everything about what's going on, and he was there the night before. And he says, see that Dern receives this, he says with a thumbs up and a grin.
Okay. Will do. And I'll... do we have anything that's kind of like a party stash at this point? Have we established anything like that? Like a bag or a box or...
I don't think so.
So
I don't think so.
Honestly, I don't think we have, and I don't think any of us have even introduced ourselves at this point.
No, I kind of figured you guys would talk on the cart ride there, since you're going to be like 2 days.
All right, I'm gonna basically just like look around and see if there's like a bag, like even just like a hay sack or anything. And if I find anything like that, I'd like to put the box in there, and then basically that can be the start, or at least temporary start of our communal stuff.
Okay. You look around the farm and you see some burlap sacks that would have been used for feed when they had stuff in them, just kind of sitting around the farm.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just pick one of those up, ask the farmer if I can take it.
And yeah, he
And then,
says, yeah, you can definitely take it.
I'll put it in there, and I'll put it kind of just in the center of the cart, where none of us should really be sitting or impacted by it.
Okay. So you guys all hop on the cart, and Ra kind of pulls the reins of the oxens, and you guys start traveling. You guys are headed south at the moment. And on the first day, you guys travel all day. So I'll let you guys have the time right now to kind of talk and introduce your characters.
Okay. This is something that I'd like to possibly have happen. Maven sat with me that one night, asking me a bunch of questions. I don't like to talk about myself so much because it's just not really ingrained in me. So when it comes my time to talk, I'd like it if Maven would just spout off facts that they learned about me in their questioning, is kind of my introduction instead. Would that? Do you think that would be in your character?
But like, oh yeah, like if there's things that I find on you that like I find interesting, I'd be like, they'd be like, oh, I see that you don't like just anything that I find on you
Yeah.
that would be interesting. I'd definitely spout out about it.
So about an hour into the
I would look at you. I would look at you first and be like, are you okay if I tell people about this?
So about like an hour into the journey, you guys haven't really said anything to each other, and Ra looks back and says, "You guys are a quiet bunch. You must have known each other a long time."
No. I don't know these people. But the robot man's pretty interesting. Did you know that he doesn't just stop moving at night? Really weird.
I clarify because I feel like his definition was too broad. I go into a sentry mode to preserve power, but I stay aware at all times. It's part of my being. It's a
And
nice advantage to have.
And Ra goes, a sentry mode. What'll they come up with next? And then she kind of looks around and she says, I haven't really seen an Aarakocra before, but I've read about them. As she looks over at Russell.
Russell kind of like rubs his eyes as he wakes up, like shakes his head.
Kenku.
He like nods at Darian. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he nods at Darian. And like points at himself, and he opens his mouth, and he mimics a sound of like dry leaves rustling. That's kind of his introduction.
And I guess to make that a bit smoother so everybody gets it, should be, oh, Kenku, I've never heard of those before. What's your name? And then you make the leave Russell noise.
He repeats it, and then he kind of like looks around at who he thinks is the most trustworthy of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess you would probably pick out as Darian, since he doesn't seem to share a whole lot of information. And he'll like reach into his cloak, pull out like a rolled piece of paper, and he'll show it to him. And it'll be this. Oh, I can't drag that into chat.
I wonder. I can maybe drag it into his inventory so he
like
can
you can
see
share it with everybody.
Oh, okay. I'll share it with everybody. Okay.
It's just he doesn't want to give everybody the information just yet.
Oh.
It's not really sure what they would make use of it.
Darren's just gonna like raise an eyebrow a little bit and then just roll it back up and, I mean, put it away, I guess.
Yeah, just as far as like it has like his regular name, like what most people call him on it.
Yeah. His name's Russell.
Oh,
And he will kind of like hold out his hand to get it back.
Oh, okay. Then he
Yeah,
gives it
I
back.
just
I
wanted to,
guarantee
like-
he just yeah.
Oh, weird.
Puts it away.
I thought his name was Leafy Boy or something.
Well, Russell like leaves. That's why he makes the sound.
Yeah.
Russell.
Oh, okay.
and what about you? You're introducing other people, but you seem quite quiet yourself.
I find it easier more productive to write things down than talk.
And then your book kind of goes, I think she likes you.
Just keep writing. Just writing away.
Why don't you tell us the things in your book then, as you write?
I feel like most of the things in this book would bore you unless you are into various notes on magic, various notes on the library and inventory that I'm trying to keep track of from time to time that I own. Just notes on things to do when I finally get back. I wouldn't want to get too much into it. Just technical jargon.
It's the technical
One
stuff.
That's good.
need to restock book in X area. Need to probably check and see someone has an overdue book. That kind of thing.
You are talking to somebody who has talked to a tin man for 3 hours just to learn a little bit about him. So, it wouldn't. I don't think it could be that boring.
True. If you ever really want me to regale you with the ins and outs of running a library, I will gladly do that.
I would just like to note that because he said Tin Man and my character's a little bit literal, he did not clue in to the fact that Maven was talking about himself. So Karn just sits there and does not acknowledge that comment at all.
Yeah. We need a subquest to find Karna Heart.
Hey, look, I
Was there all along.
look. I feel. I just don't have. I don't know. I take things literally a lot.
And then Ra kind of looks over at Zahel and he says, and what interest does the church have in this?
Church has any interest in ridding the land of anything unclean.
Well, hopefully you guys will have a nice, strong journey. And she just kind of like turns back, keeps her eyes on the road. She's like, whoa, I better keep my eyes on the road. Just like a nervous laugh.
Do you need to take a nap or anything? That seems like. Are you falling asleep?
No, I'm okay. I'm just not great in intensely awkward situations.
Then it's best to be quiet for the rest of the ride to avoid them.
Karn says, I don't sense any awkwardness.
I bet you don't.
That's
This
one of
has
the
been
features I
pleasant.
figured out. That's one of the features I figured out about him.
And you guys end up riding for the entire day, and nothing really happens. Some of you, whoever wants to, would go to bed for the nighttime. Ra is battle experienced. She knows what to look for in terms of, people sneaking up on you and whatnot. So it would be safe for you guys to sleep if you want and collect a long rest.
Russell would get most of his sleep during the day. As night starts to fall, he'd probably keep watch out the back of the cart.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm just wherever I'm positioned in the cart, I'll be keeping watch on whatever I can see
Okay.
because I have my full senses even when I am quote unquote sleeping.
Okay.
I mean, I'd just go into whenever I need to sleep, and in between doing that, I'd be tinkering with things on my armor, and trying to do the same thing to Karn, but probably asking him first.
So wait, you're just tinkering or you're like cleaning?
Cleaning, tinkering, a little bit of everything. Making sure everything moves properly.
I
Little
look
cad.
I look down I look down at my arm and I see that there's a little bit of a scuff on the side of it, and I say, yeah, if you could buff that out, that would be great.
Yeah, pretty much goes away at doing so. Cast mend everything.
Oh,
Like-
we lost the hell.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Did we lose him everywhere or just in video?
Everywhere, I think.
Everywhere. I think he dropped right from Discord.
Yeah, he's not in Discord anymore.
Okay.
I mean, he dropped from our magical talkie realm.
Magical talkie round.
No.
Yes, yes. The cone of magical talkie realm.
It looks
Yeah.
like. It looks like. Well, it looks like Sirenscape is now the
Dungeon-
Yeah.
now the dungeon master.
Yeah.
But hey,
When
look,
you use Sirenscape becomes the dungeon master for you.
Damn it!
it's less messed up than it usually is, though.
It's because
Yeah,
I turned on.
actually is.
It's because I turned on Sirenscape's not really a video. Oh, there we go.
Oh no no.
You know?
Welcome back.
Oh no, it went worse.
Now it's. Now,
We'll
yeah,
come back. We'll be good.
it'll come back. Can you hear us?
Is anybody out there?
Okay.
Anybody?
So, you guys sleep the night with no issues. And then the next day rolls around, and probably somewhere around 7 or 8 o'clock, whoever wouldn't already be up, Raw pulls the cart off.
Just going to sleep.
Raw pulls the cart off to the side, and she gives the oxen some water and some food. It's probably about a 10-minute stop. Not very long. But, so she gets off the cart, and she begins giving water to, giving water and food to the oxen. And all of a sudden, she says, "Shh." And she raises one hand in the air. And she says, "Does anybody hear that?" And then about a second later, you hear the thunderous sound of horses coming at you very, very fast. And you look towards the rear and you see 3 men riding on horses, and they're riding very, very fast war horses, probably traveling at about 80 miles an hour. So that's like way, way, way faster than your oxen are going. The 3 men, one of them is wearing a red coat. The other 2 are wearing black coats, and they just zoom past you. They don't stop. They don't zoom. They just go right past you as quickly as you saw them. They were basically gone in the distance again. You do manage to get a pretty good look at the guy in red. He looks something like this. The guys,
Friendly looking customer.
the guys
Yeah.
the guys in black coats look kind of similar. The coat is of a similar fashion, but they don't have as many ornament on them.
Do they look similar to the guys we beat the crap out of on day 1?
The guys in the black coats, maybe a little bit. It would be hard to tell. They're going by really fast, but at a quick glance, you could probably assume that they were wearing black. They probably look kind of similar, yeah. But you wouldn't.
Also,
You would get
kind
enough.
of like a
Sorry, you would get enough detail to assume that they probably are, but not enough detail to say for sure. Like you look at it and okay, yeah, that black, okay.
also kind of like raise a talon, and like mimic the sound of like a like a city alarm bell,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of quietly, and look around at the others, kind of point after them.
Hmm.
I mean,
So
are
they're
they
like gone at this point.
I mean, I'll give you guys a little bit of leeway. You can probably see the horses quite a distance away, but I don't know if you could possibly catch up to them.
Like these are war horses. Are they like galloping flat out, or
Flat,
going,
like
a
as
regular speed?
as fast as they possibly can. They are in a huge hurry to get wherever they are going.
Does it look like anybody's chasing them?
Nobody's chasing them. Or you don't see anybody coming up behind them anyway. You look back, you don't hear, after kind of the sound of their thunderous hooves go past you, you don't hear anything coming up on them in the distance. And you don't see anything as you look back.
Even sprinting, Russell would be actually. No, he could maybe keep pace with one, but I don't think he could catch one.
Well, I don't know if you'd be able to keep pace with them either.
What's... Oh, is their regular move 60?
In combat, they could let's see. They also got a head start on you too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, he couldn't catch up with them. I just can't remember how fast they are.
So Warhorse has 60 feet. They're dashing to 120 feet.
Yeah, he'd be 40 feet too slow.
Yeah. Hmm. And they're headed in the same direction as us?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were heading back the way we came.
No, they're heading. They came from behind you, and they
Oh.
rushed forward.
Okay.
We had better get a move on then.
So.
Yep.
You get Roz finished watering her oxen. Now she gets back on the cart, and she doesn't seem too phased by it. She doesn't seem worried or upset. She's still just kind of her normal, quirky self. Kind of tries to interject little bits of conversation to maybe make you guys talk. And through the awkward silences and the long pauses, eventually it starts to become nighttime. And as the sun slowly starts to set, eventually the moon does come up, and you start to notice a smell of, you feel, I guess I'd say a weird tension in the air, and the faint smell of maybe rotting flesh and or death is kind of in the air.
Ew.
And this would be roughly, 12 hours after those guys ran by. So if you guys wanted to do anything between those 12 hours, because they came by at like 8, 9 in the morning, and now it's like dark out. So if there was anything you guys did want to do during that time, I'll give you now to kind of do that. And if not, then we can continue.
Could you quickly long rest my guy?
Yes, I should probably
Just-
long rest everybody.
Yeah, just
Everyone
so that-
rest.
I gotta remember how to do that.
I think it's on the
Okay.
party sheet,
Rest.
right?
Long rest for Darian.
Ooh.
Rest. Long rest for Karn.
There we go.
I'm sure there's a button where I can do them all at the same time, but I have not found that yet.
Yeah, I think it's on the party sheet somewhere.
Perhaps. But everybody has now long rested, as you would have from the night/day before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Russell would have gotten his sleep during the day. As things get kind of tense, I think he might actually like hop off the cart and follow along. Is there like woods or anything on the sides of the road, or is it pretty open?
It's pretty open where you guys are at right now.
Pretty open. Okay, never mind then. I was thinking he'd follow along from the underbrush, but And I guess he just keep keeping watch.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can smell death in the air.
Yeah. Or you can't,
All right.
probably. I don't think you have
So-
a sense of smell, but
I can smell.
okay, then yes, you would.
Yeah, I have a sense of smell. I just don't have to eat or sleep. Okay. So basically, it kind of wouldn't matter anyway because I would get kind of a hint if this was happening. But I'd like to use divine sense.
Okay.
So I can know the location of celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of me,
You
unless they're behind total cover.
you don't get anything within 60 feet of you.
Okay. Sounds good. Within the same area, I just have to read this for the matter of it, but within the same radius,
Mhm.
I can also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated.
Nothing.
I don't know if that
noth-
matters.
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing here.
Okay.
So now I'll say it's like fully dark out. And Raw pulls really hard on the reins, and she says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Easy does it." As she passed the 2 oxen in front, she says, "Look over there," and she points over to the east. And you guys hadn't really taken note before, but now when you look over to the east, you see a faint glow of a green light. And as you kind of notice this green light, and you're kind of paying even more attention, the smell of death and flesh has grown a little bit stronger, and the tension is at kind of a lot higher than it was before. You can just kind of feel like you're coming into a place where something's going on. And Ra jumps down from the cart looking at the ground. She says, "Look at the ground. These are no ordinary hoof prints." And then she kind of points down to the area. And as she points on the ground, you see that the ground is very torn up. And she says, "Do you think maybe these could be the horses from earlier today? They were traveling pretty fast." And everybody kind of takes note that these hoof marks are going in the direction of the green light.
Also, kind of mimic like a little bit quieter this time. He'll mimic the sound of the alarm bells again and nod his head.
And
Oh my
Ra
god, I knew it.
I
kind of looks.
agree. We should head that direction.
Okay.
No harm to investigate.
The Birdman is correct. We gotta go.
Before we take off, though, Russell kind of like, I guess he looks over at Karn and points at the small chest that the innkeeper had entrusted us
Mhm.
with. That he would have taken notice of at some point, but not said anything about it until now.
Okay.
Like make us aware of it. Like kind of a should we take it or leave it here or.
Yeah, if you would like to carry it with you, then feel free. Otherwise, I think it's safe to leave it at the cart. I don't know. Are we leaving anyone behind? Like, are we leaving Raw with the cart?
Ra is going to stay behind with the cart unless you guys want to enlist her to go with you. She's not going to go on her own because the oxen and cart are valuable as well. And also it might be worth having someone at this end in case something flees or tries to get away. Like, she'll come up a little bit with you, but she's not going to go all the way.
Yeah, like essentially, I tell her that I think it would be preferable if she stayed here to watch the cart, and at the first sign of anything to move, like to get the oxen to safety.
How far
But-
away are we from the green light?
You guys are about 300 I would guess about 300. It's still off in the distance. You can see a light.
Is there anything between us and it?
The trail leads off. You can kind of make out a fencing gate in that direction, and then most of the glowing you're seeing is kind of up in the sky. There's some trees back there. You can't really see exactly where it's coming from.
Is Ra familiar with this area?
She knows a little bit about the area where you're going to be going. She knows the trail really well. So she
Okay,
knows.
so has she seen this particular place before?
She's been told that. She says that she's been told that back there, there was a graveyard, but nobody really paid it any mind. Like, it's probably falling apart. She didn't really think anybody tended to it or went there, or really cared about it. But she's heard that there's a graveyard back there, an old graveyard.
And that can't. Okay, so are we gonna leave her behind? Because
That
I want to do something.
that seems to be
If-
the plan so far. But you guys, I don't think, have made any firm decision yet on anything.
Well, either way, if we're leaving her behind or not, I want to cast alarm around the oxen.
Okay. Sure.
So basically, take a minute, and I basically make an alarm around the oxen,
Yep.
and I designate basically everybody, including her, that once they enter in, they're fine for going in and out. But if anything else enters in or goes near them, I get a mental alarm saying something happened.
Okay.
And that goes up to a mile away,
Yeah.
so I'm pretty sure we're close enough.
Yeah, you guys are. How many feet are in a mile? Like 5,280. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
definitely going to be in range of that.
Okay.
Yep.
So I just, as you guys were deciding, I'm just kind of doing my ritual around the cart.
Okay.
And yeah, to kind of answer Russell, I basically say, I feel we can trust it with Rob. However, if you think it's safer in your hands, I won't question it.
Also, kind of like starts to like reach out for it, then hesitates, and then like just kind of passes, slides it further over on the seat next to Ra, and steps back from it.
Okay.
Because it certainly wouldn't be safe in his hands. Probably. There'd be some locks getting picked.
I don't know, you're a bad guy.
You said Russell's a bad guy.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
just
Yeah, sorry. I don't know you're a criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd kind of like it to stay that way.
Yeah.
So you guys follow the hoof prints towards the green light, and you see a large metal fence with some stonework between them. There's
As we approach,
Yep.
though, Russell is going to try to like keep low, keep behind cover whenever he can.
Okay. So there's a metal fence with kind of like there's some stonework between like the metal bars, and you see a sign around the top of the gate. It's like a metal arch with like words interwoven in the metal, and it says Graveyard of the Damned. And there's a path that leads to where you believe would be the green light that you saw in the distance. And just stop me at any point if anybody wants to do anything, because I have a bit more reading left to do. But
What an odd thing to name a place to put your loved ones. Graveyard of the Damned.
It
Russell
was at
kinda
one
like-
point.
Russell kind of like looks so this is like wrought into the gate. This is like it would have been there for like since the graveyard went up, kind of thing.
yeah, like this is like
Okay, Russell-
built. Yeah.
Kind of looks at him and he like mimics the sound of like a rope creaking
Mm-hmm.
or like a like a headsman's axe falling.
Graveyard for criminals.
As you travel through the Graveyard of the Damned, you can kind of start to see the green light like actually, instead of like just up in the skies, you're walking through a trail that goes through the trees. You've walked by many tombstones. Everything seems to be in order so far as you can tell. And you get to the back of the graveyard, and there's a path that kind of goes into, I'll say, like a wooded area. And that's where you really start to see the light like coming out from the trees. And as you walk through the trees, eventually you come out and you see a scene that looks like this. 1 second. Let me get our first map up.
The
Okay.
moment of truth. Do the maps load?
They should.
They do, and they're very quick compared to before.
This one wasn't preloaded because I didn't put any line of sight on this one. I did some other stuff to it, but
Here's
this,
all dark.
yeah, it's should still be loading. And oh, you guys don't have tokens on there. That's why you can't see anything. So
Oh, that would help.
let me throw some tokens on there. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's all the new line of sight stuff. So
Whoa.
What?
Clouds. Question mark.
This is a thick mist that
yeah.
oddly enough wasn't there when you guys were walking through the trees, but as you come out from the trees, you see this kind of like stone bridge around a pit that's quite deep, and there's this black object in the center that's emanating a green light.
Is that the question mark? Oh, never mind.
I don't see anything. It's still dark as fuck.
Well, this is rather alarming.
You don't see anything?
I
I
don't
see.
see anything.
I see the whole thing.
Yeah,
Oh, weird. Okay, that was.
You see it now?
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good now.
popped in for me
I
too.
have no idea what the hell happened.
But yeah, normally there'll be line of sight enabled, and I'll just load the map in, and you guys just won't see anything for a while, and then I'll.
Yeah.
Um,
So Russ will be kind of skulking over here behind these things as we're approaching. I
And-
figure.
kind of out of the corner of your eye, you notice some movement kind of on the back end, like to the furthest corner. You kind of see something move.
Now I would like to use divine sense a second time.
Yep.
Russell's gonna
Right.
you
kind of like
sense-
peer through the gloom, try to
Yeah.
see if he spots anything.
Okay, you sense undead. You sense undead. Yeah.
Right. So within 60 feet, where are they roughly? Any that aren't in full cover.
From the sense of it, down. I'll move you ahead a little bit. From the sense of it, down in the pit.
Okay, so just straight ahead kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, I relay that info. I say that
Not,
they're. Is it many? Like, do I sense many or few?
Can you get that with divine sense?
What?
Can you get that with divine sense?
Well,
Pretty
I'm
sure.
supposed to be able to detect every source of it within 60 feet.
Okay, yeah, you're getting multiple sources. Let's say like 7, 8. They're kind of coming in and out of your range.
Out of the range.
Started
Okay.
at 4, and then you kind of felt 6, and then it was down to 3 again, and they're
Okay.
they're moving.
So I sense. I relay to them that I sense a not insignificant number of undead moving in and out of my divine sense range.
Oh boy.
You said that we kind of detect like a little bit of movement. Can I like see if I can get like a better look at whatever it might have been?
Yep, make an investigation check.
Oh, investigation. Okay.
Or I guess perception, but is probably better. What are you better at perception?
Perception would have been 2 more.
2 more? Okay, so we'll say 15. Perception probably makes more sense here because you're so far away. You saw the color red.
Russell kind of like looks over at everybody and like as quietly as he can, he makes a sound of the alarm bell again and hoof beats. Kind of like points over there and then adds
Oh.
like the sound of like a cloak flapping.
Oh, the boys.
So you saw the red man?
He nods.
Okay. So we have a bunch of undead to deal with, and potentially the 3 men that we saw yesterday.
Whereabouts did he see this?
So see how there's 4 corners, like a north, west, south, and east on
Sure.
the pyramid thing, like how it's like a square on an axis.
Okay, yeah.
It would be the corner pointing furthest to the east. So like towards the back of the map, around that corner. He's doing something behind the big black object, and you just happen to see an arm.
Okay. Hmm. Let me see, where can I find a pointer? I want to see how wide this pit is. Oh, it's about 45 feet wide. I might try jumping it at some point, but I think we're gonna have to use the bridge. Are we too far away to see how deep the pit is?
Yeah.
Okay. Russell, I guess, is gonna try to approach under stealth.
Okay.
He's gonna kind of like look at the others and then like point at himself and point up ahead. He's gonna like stay, behind these tombstones and behind these trees.
Okay.
Do you want a stealth roll, or am I
Yeah.
good just to move up?
Give me a stealth roll, just
Okay.
more or less to see if you made any sounds while doing it.
Sure.
Okay. You move very quietly.
Okay. So yeah, he'll move up and peer into the pit.
Okay. You look into the pit, and you see that it's about 20 feet down. Or wait, one sec. That would be 30 feet deep. So it's 30 feet deep. It's kind of hard to tell what you see moving around down there, but they're kind of like slumped over, and there are quite a few of them. And some of them are laying on the ground. Some of them are up walking around. And when you get that close, you do hear some noise. You hear... Let's see. Do I have a sound for this? That would be super cool if I did. You hear... Let's see if it'll play again. Your noise is like this. Just kind of like...
Okay. Do I see anything else over by the pyramid thing? Now that I'm a bit closer.
The pyramid's quite big. You're seeing more movements. It looks like he's very, very close to and interacting with the black object.
All right. Also kind of like come back a little bit to where the others can see him, since he's kind of hard to see with his cloak while he's hiding. I guess first he'll like point at Karn, and he'll kind of like slump over and kind of try to emulate like the undead moving.
Okay.
And then he'll like bring up his hand and start counting, and then just kind of shrug.
Okay.
'cause he doesn't know exactly how many are in there.
Oh, okay.
And you guys all at this point notice a creature work its way around. It's looking directly at the black object. It doesn't seem to be paying you guys any mind. And it's running its hand across it. And you can see it pretty well because he's standing right in the middle of this green light. You can see his mouth moving, but you don't hear what he's saying.
Hmm.
Roughly how many did you see?
Let's say 10.
Also, like, again, he kind of like, counts up a few, as many as he said, and then kind of shrugs again to indicate that there's probably more. And then he points over at like this man, and he only holds up like one finger because that's all he could see there. I guess he's going to move over here, over to this side.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to point at the pit. He's gonna like kind of take out his grappling hook. He's gonna fathom out about 30 feet of rope
Okay.
and show the others,
Okay.
and then kind of convey that like he's gonna plan on sneaking around that way.
Okay.
So like tell them how deep the pit is
Yeah.
and what his plan is.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. If they want to go in across the bridge, he's gonna try to get in another way if he can sneak past the
Okay.
zombies.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's get everyone to roll initiative. So that we can track movements and stuff at the very least.
Oh, we're rolling initiative?
Yeah.
Initiative.
My initiatives are real bad. I'm just disappointing.
Yours are
Yes.
bad.
If mine stay this bad, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble though once I hit level 3 rogue.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you notice one of the creatures walks out of your line of sight, looking down the pit.
Looking down into the pit?
Yeah.
Hmm.
One of the creatures walks kind of in the direction of the stairs.
The bottom stairs or top stairs?
To the top stairs.
Top stairs?
Yeah.
Alright. Also kind of like looks over at the others and like points at himself and then over the stairs because he feels like he's gonna miss his window, and I guess he's gonna start making his way over there then.
Okay.
Right. Is there anybody between him and the stairs at this point?
You see the one guy that was walking and 3 others.
Can I like see any of them on the map?
One sec, I gotta figure out which ones are which.
Oh shit.
Yes, you can.
And
Yep, he's gonna look down there, he's gonna shake his head, and he's gonna go back. Yeah. He's gonna, come back into view, look at the others, shrug, and, shake his head. That way's no good. Too many of them.
too many for one bird, man. Okay. Give me
He
one
kind of
second.
looks around at everyone, you know, looking for any other ideas, because he's out.
I mean, we could
Sneaky.
go across the bridge if there's nothing else we can do. I mean, I'm not going to lead by any means.
Yeah.
If someone else would like to take the reins and maybe go, or like I stay
Yeah,
back here.
Man,
yeah, I can definitely go ahead. However, this isn't to our mission, as far as we know, and I never noticed any villagers or anything that appeared to be in trouble or live nearby. So, just wondering if anybody feels like this is their duty to deal with this, or perhaps we don't even need to engage.
This place must be cleansed.
All right.
I
Well,
believe that's a 1 for feeling that their duty. Yep.
yep, that settles that.
Okay. Did we solve anything?
we're continuing forward. Yes.
Yeah, as
And
long
not
as
just
there's
say,
one.
okay,
Yeah,
Is
as
there any
long as there's
additional
one
movement?
person.
Is there any additional what? Sorry.
Movement.
Uh,
Like, are any of the other undead moving up the stairs towards the dude in red?
not that anybody saw.
These I miss being able to like tab ping in Roll20. These here, can you see this arrow moving?
No.
Okay, can you see the arrow now?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Does it look like a grappling hook could latch onto those?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, I guess...
If you had enough rope to get there, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how much you have.
I think it usually comes in 50-foot
Okay.
lengths. I guess as anybody tries to, or like as the others approach the bridge, he's going to try and get his grappling hook across there.
Okay.
He's gonna like toss it, probably over to this one,
Okay.
and then tie it off on his side.
Okay. You throw
Try
the
and make
grappling
himself a
hook,
bridge.
and when you throw the grappling hook, it does make noise as it grips the stone on the other side. And the red guy looks over in your direction.
Russell mimics the sound of a rat.
Okay. Give me a stealth check to see how hidden you are right now.
Okay.
Because now you're hidden behind tiny little piece of stone and not tree.
Yeah.
that's one sneaky bird boy.
Yeah.
Yep. You are very well hidden.
I'm
You-
stealth.
You make the sound of a rat,
Yep.
and he just kind of looks back and continues doing what he's doing.
Okay. Russell will look back at the others and he'll like, give them a thumbs up.
Okay.
And I guess whoever leads the way across the bridge, Russell's gonna try to use like his makeshift tightrope here and
Here, one sec
kind of try
again,
to
sorry
approach on the
guys.
scene.
Yeah, I'm just gonna essentially move forward. Sorry, I'm gonna zoom in. Just gonna start moving forward. I'll
Just-
kind of take the lead if.
I'm just gonna go right beside you.
I guess I will also put on me as I go forward Shield of Faith. That effect is still on me from last time, so I'm just not going to reapply it. I believe, yeah. Oh no, no, it looks like I do need it. Okay, 1 sec. How do I apply it again? I think it's this way. There we go. Oh. I think I have to have myself targeted. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so I'll have that on me and I'll just keep going forward, I guess, until something happens or until someone wants us to stop for some reason.
For some reason. I won't go too
Where's
far.
the
I think
DM?
Rufus had to go for a second.
Oh. Oh, okay.
So I wouldn't go too. I would say at this
Yeah.
side of the bridge. Actually, I would just take it back to the side of the bridge.
Yeah, probably a good
Yeah.
idea.
Good call. I didn't even realize he was gone.
Oh,
Came back and jumped underneath his desk.
Okay, we're back.
You got
Oh.
stairs there or something?
What?
I said, you got stairs there or something?
Yeah.
Looks like you went down a set of stairs. Yeah.
Yeah. It's my underground office. Okay. So what are you guys doing?
making our way across
So-
the bridge.
Yeah, we're moving our way across the bridge right now
Okay.
until you tell us to stop.
Everybody make a stealth check.
Health check? Oh
Yep.
boy.
Do I have to stealth check if I'm this far behind?
You should, because you could still be the loudest. You could
I
accidentally...
couldn't hear what you said. You're
I
cutting out
said
a
you
little bit.
should because you could potentially be the loudest. You could
That is
accidentally
true.
you could accidentally kick a rock down below. Okay.
Russell is shaking his head from where he's hiding right now.
Karn is
I
much
think it's
That
safe
is
to
pretty
say-
loud.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's
Aha,
safe to
I'm
say
not the
that
loudest.
I don't think I'm even trying
quietest.
to conceal
No.
my.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say
presence.
Karn is kind of more
No.
used to definitely the I'm gonna like make it more akin to the firing line style of war. So he's just like crunk, 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 crunk.
Yeah.
And that brings obviously the attention of the man in red.
You're kind of cutting out.
You're
Yeah, your
cutting-
volume is way
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
The volume's way down?
Yeah,
Okay.
you sound like you're cutting out.
Okay, that could be 1 second. That could be a Discord setting. I think I have crisp audio turned on.
Ever turn on Chris Body?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
it is
right?
the worst.
There, is that
Um,
better?
On the stream, you could stand to zoom in a little bit too.
Yes, I can. Okay. Here we go. There we go. We're all good now. Okay, so now initiative is actually going to take effect.
Not really. You're still really quiet.
Still really quiet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I haven't touched or done anything.
It sounds almost like a wire is barely pulled out of something, kind of like
Yeah.
it's barely connected.
Maybe.
Yeah.
How about that?
No.
Nothing?
Exact same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Really?
Hmm.
1
Try
second.
restarting your audio engine in whatchamacallit.
How's that? Is that better? At all?
No.
No?
Really. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties.
I'm gonna see what it sounds like on the stream.
This is
too.
and it should sound completely different on stream because I'm using a different audio capture.
You just did something and it sounded better.
I
It's
did
kind of better, but still choppy.
legitimately have not changed anything since we started. I just restarted.
Let's
Stream sounds perfect. Discord does not.
maybe restart Discord.
No, I have an idea.
Just try changing the server.
There, how about this? Is that better?
No, that's
No.
worse.
That's
Yeah,
worse?
one sec. I'm gonna
Okay.
edit the channel real quick. Okay, try saying something.
How about now?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
I changed our server region to US East
Oh, really?
instead of automatic. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. Weird. Okay, so we're going to go in actual turn order now.
Nice.
And the cloaked figure right before initiative starts looks at you guys and says, "I was wondering when you might show up." And then he puts his hands in the air and he says, "This time there'll be no survivors." And when that happens, there are some people you can't see who have turns.
Cut out again.
Yeah, can't hear you.
Okay, that one might have been me just talking quietly.
It sounds a little bit like you have like a gate on or something.
Yeah, there's definitely no gate on.
Ooh, I'm perfect now.
Sounds better, a lot better.
Literally didn't do anything.
Who knows?
Okay, cool. So I'll go ahead and do the dudes who are. Oh shoot. This guy gets to go first. One sec. What is his movement? Okay.
Oh, there are people we can't see on the tracker.
Yeah, there are.
Oh my god.
That's spooky.
And this guy comes into view as he starts to climb the stairs. And then there. And then this guy comes into view as he slowly starts to climb the stairs. And then this guy also comes into view. And then it is Zahel's turn.
Far away am I from this guy? I am 95 feet away. I am going to cast level 2 Guiding Bolt at him.
Okay. And does he make a save for that, or is that a spell attack?
Range spell attack.
Okay. You rolled 2?
Don't understand what that just did.
Both of those are hits, so we'll say hit.
Both of those are hits, so yeah.
Yeah.
Because the 41 is quite probably a hit.
And then it was an extra 6.
Okay, he takes 15 damage. Anything else for you?
Is there,
Oh,
is there
sorry.
like an easy way to draw pointers just to see how far distant stuff is?
So when you target them, if you hover,
Yeah,
you
for
should.
targeting, yeah, but if I just want to see how far away I am from like a random spot on the map.
How do you guys do that?
Right click, go to pointers, and then go to arrow. I don't know if there is a quick way to get to it.
Let's do this.
Also, I don't know, but like, does the tracker automatically handle like damage weaknesses and stuff too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. As long as the damage types are in there properly and the resistances are on that character, it does.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Just making sure.
Yes, it
As
does.
a bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon at him. Find it. So, what is the text for this? So it appears next to him.
Okay. And then I'm assuming it takes your action to actually attack with it.
It's a bonus action for casting. The bonus action on my turn, I can move the thing up to 20 feet and repeat an attack against. So I get cast a spell. You make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. I can do the weapon 60 feet away. So the weapon appears beside him,
Okay.
and it hits him for, or tries to hit him, I guess. This.
That's a crit.
It's going to crit him.
Uh-oh.
He crit so hard.
Oh my god.
He's got.
So hard he disappeared. Shoot.
Okay. So, as he kind of falls to the ground, his hand still on the black object, he looks over at you and says, I was checking to see if he was still there to hear this. And he says, "The battle has just begun." And then he dies.
Just begun.
His
And the
blood
music kicks in.
his blood begins to come out of his body and is absorbed by the black object that he's touching or has fallen down beside. And the green light becomes more intense.
Okay. That's eerie.
What is here?
A little bit ominous.
So I believe that's all that Zahel can do.
Yeah.
Okay, on to Russell.
Russell's going to briefly reconsider approaching this thing, but he's going to start forward, moving across this kind of tight ropey setup, keeping
Okay.
low so he can like grab onto it if he starts to fall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want like an acrobatics check or
Yeah.
anything for that? Or?
Yep, give me an acrobatics. And I'll say with advantage because you have Talon feet. So roll again.
Whoops.
Okay, so 21 sticks. Yeah, you have no problem
Assassin's
walking
Creed his
across
way
it.
across there. He's going to kind of take up another hidden position behind this thing, and he's going to ready an action to throw one of his needles at anything hostile that appears within his range.
And what is the range of a needle?
20 feet.
20 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
And
that's all Russell's going to do.
okay, and Maven. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking if I wanted to bonus action or anything, but no.
Okay. And Maven.
I'm gonna just start making my way forward, I guess.
Okay.
Um. Can I reach the guy and see if I can look at this black box?
What, sorry?
Would I be able to reach him? And if I dash, would I be able to reach where he died?
So he died, like, literally on the bottom corner. So if you can get that far, you can get that far.
Okay, I'm gonna get there, so I'm just gonna stop there, I guess.
Okay. Anything else for you?
Nope.
Okay. Karn.
I'm going to. Let's see, who am I closest to? I'm gonna make my map a little bigger for one thing. Oh, it doesn't tell me the distance anymore.
The
1 second. Yeah, I was just wondering if it would tell me the distance to the creatures, but it doesn't.
If you control click to target them and zoom in, there's like a little dot with the distance in it. It's hard to see at first.
Oh.
It's like
Oh,
halfway
yeah,
along the line.
I gotta get real close. That's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're about 70 feet. Okay. Yeah, I guess there's not much I can do other than just move forward at this point. All of those are concentration. I'm already concentrating, so yeah. I guess that's all I'll do. I'll move forward and I'll use my dash to move double speed, I guess. So,
Okay.
can you lock the movement for a second?
Yeah. Should be good.
It just makes it a lot easier for me to figure out how far I'm
And
moving.
I can keep this on too if we want. You'll see what it looks like here in
Yeah.
a second. So like I have to approve or deny that move.
Yeah. So I'd like to go there.
Okay. And then I say okay, and then he's able to move there.
A little cumbersome whenever we're still like exploring a map for the first time.
Yeah, I mean like for like right now where you're in combat, I can start turning it on in combat if that's easier for people, or I can turn it off. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I find it's just easier to calculate how far I'm moving because you can do it in steps as well. Like, don't approve this one.
Oh, one sec.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll show them. So you can go like this and like that for your move.
And then if I click
so you can
OK,
do it all in steps.
it'll actually move throughout that course. It's like when line of sight's enabled, you don't just go straight through that thing and get vision when you shouldn't. It'll actually follow the line. Okay.
It's neat.
So,
Yeah, that's all for me. It's just I'm gonna dash forward and try and get into a better position.
So there are some other things that are going to act before our buddy Darian. And actually, what is... Okay.
Hey man, Buddy's a different gnome.
Haha.
He gave his life to save
Whoa.
Winter Miss.
Giant black box.
Eh,
Oh, it's a circle.
I don't like that black circle.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's just black because it's his default color. Don't worry.
That, that's, that doesn't make it any better.
Would it help
People
if he
can this
changed it to
Goblin
a?
Devastator hit.
Would it help if he changed it to a pink circle?
No, because that means it's still gonna be death.
okay. Now it is Darian's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna move up to there. Oh,
Oh, I still had is that where you wanted to go? I still had token
yeah,
locking on.
that's
okay.
actually exactly where I want to go. And it's
Okay.
25 feet.
I just turned off the
And-
movement lock.
I'm gonna fire a firebolt at this object to see if it does anything to it.
Okay. So you definitely get the hit no matter what. It's an object.
Nice. You never know.
So you notice that the fire just hits it, and it just kind of, because it would hit it on a corner, just divides the fire. It divides the fire as it goes off the sides. It doesn't seem to absorb. It doesn't seem to turn red.
Okay. Doesn't care about fire.
You notice that it
Fire is not blood.
You notice that it reacts in a similar fashion to maybe how it would if you casted fire at stone.
Yeah. I get you.
Anything else for Darian?
That's it.
Okay. Back at the top of the turn order, we got this guy. He's going to make his way up the stairs. He is going to... He's going to take a dash here and go... one sec. He's going to go... I'm just going to do something super quick here. Making the grid a bit easier to see. Oh, maybe not. Okay. And then... Oh, shit. I need to lock that. There we go. Okay. I was having trouble. He's going to move to there. Next up is this guy. He's going to go... He's also going to take a dash action. Next up is this guy. He's gonna go there. And this guy is gonna go... Gonna come up here, and then it's Zahel's turn.
Far away am I from them?
This spiritual weapon isn't on the map either.
Oh yeah, we should get a token for that. 1 second. I'll find a token while you're doing stuff. Okay.
Token. It's like a flying sword token.
Yeah.
Because that should be in the, yeah.
Okay. Images. Oh, that's a terrible picture. You know what? That'll work.
It's a best picture.
Oh, you guys can't even see
Is it
that.
just a
Okay.
wooden stick? Because that would be hilarious.
I don't know if it'll let me do it if it's not actually a token.
Circle.
Oh, here we go. There is a flying sword. Okay.
Fantastic.
Flying sword. I'm just going to do... Wait, where did that go?
I like the makeshift flying sword that we have right now.
How come I can't drag this lower? Okay, we'll go like this. We'll do that just to get it close to you. And then you can go on the map. Here, there's the flying sword token.
Love it. Love it.
So, 30 feet away. Get to the sword in a second. I'm gonna cast Turn on Dead on these two next to me,
Okay.
which is not in my spellbook for some reason. So I can see it in like my abilities page.
Okay.
It's under Channel Divinity.
Abilities, channel divinity.
They must make a Wisdom saving throw. If they fail, their turn for 1 minute until they take any damage.
Okay. Within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom save. Okay. That is these guys. Okay. Wisdom save. And what did it have to beat?
It
13
doesn't say.
probably? Well, it'd be your spell.
What
like-
do you see?
Yeah.
How the hell does that show up?
I'll roll the other guys too.
Wisdom spot. 0.
Nice. He's dead. He has no wisdom.
Rip that guy.
Yeah, I have no
Okay.
idea where my spell DC is on this sheet.
It should be 10 plus your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency.
So 13 plus whatever that is.
It would, yeah, so 10
Gives
plus
them either
3
way.
plus 2 should be 15. Okay, so none of them pass. And then... Okay. The beginning... Okay, so creature turn must spend its movement trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move within a space of 30 feet from you. It also can't take reactions for its action. It can only use a dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. Okay. Cool. Anything else for you?
Flying sword is going to take a swing at this dude.
Okay. Okay. Did you have it targeted? I don't think so.
I thought I clicked on it.
Can he target with the spiritual weapon?
No, I
No.
can't.
Yeah, I think you'd have to target with your dude. So you rolled 13. You got it. So yeah, target him before you do damage. There you go.
I
Oh.
can't even.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. Five damage. He's hurt.
8.
Or sorry, 8. Yeah, he's hurt.
Yep.
Anything else
And
for
that's
you?
the end of my turn.
Okay. Russell.
So Russell's gonna see how close he can get to this guy while remaining hidden.
Okay.
5. Okay, so he's gonna come out to here. He's gonna throw. You know what? That's gonna reveal him anyway. He's just gonna walk up beside Sahel. He's gonna attack this guy with his sword.
Okay.
So both of those dudes are basically fleeing from me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the closest one I could attack. It's still got sneak attack on. So.
23 is a hit.
Oh, hang on. How do I?
How do you what?
Attack. Oh, I'm trying to remember how to turn on sneak attack. I can't.
Oh, like as an effect?
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah. So it should be under your actions.
Oh, yeah.
and
I
then
need,
you
I
hit.
need to I need to expand it and drag the effect over to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. He
11
takes damage. He's
Okay. Bonus attack. With a kick. Try to anyway.
that's a hit.
Good, that does a lot of stuff.
And you manage to send a kick flying into his head. And his head just kind of melts around your foot as it dies. Or sorry. This one you're fighting is a skeleton. You kick the head off. And it goes flying down into the pit below.
The bones melt around your foot.
All right, that's all the movement Russell has. So
Okay.
that's it.
Maven.
Even I am going to go over to here, where that man died,
Okay.
and I'm going to pick up the object that he had.
Okay, you might want to reconsider because I think you misunderstood. The object is that big thing in the center of the map.
Oh, okay.
I'll
yeah.
let you redo your movement
it
if you want. It's up to you. If you want to go
Okay.
back, you can. If you want to stay there, that's fine too. But yeah, it's that big object in the center. Like he had his hand on that big object.
Right. Check. The DC is 100.
Yes, let me pick it up.
Got this.
Yeah.
What if I help?
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
put advantage? Okay. I'm gonna actually. Well, I can make it to that, and I'm going to Thunder Punch it.
Okay.
Thunder Punch right in the face. Cool.
That's a crit.
Ooh, what? Thunder Punch.
Okay, and you got him. So you get your good gauntlets going with their thunderiness, and you punch him right in the rib cage, and his rib cage just bursts open as he falls. All the bones individually just fall and clatter to the ground.
I pull out a ribcage and say fatality. That's all. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Karn.
Okay. So am I aware of the ones coming up the stairs right now?
You would be, yeah, you'd be aware of anything that you can see on the map. The light has
Okay.
lit that area very well.
Okay. So critical decision making, I'm going to try and block off the greater number that's coming up rather than the one I see ahead of me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, can you do the thing again? I like it.
Yep.
Guess that's as far as I can get without dashing, so I'll
Okay.
go there. And I'll take a swing with my great axe.
Okay.
Or sorry, my longsword.
Your long axe. Got it.
My great sword.
No, I didn't target it. My bad.
Okay. 15 to hit. And you were trying to hit number 4. Uh-huh. Okay. Which I believe is it this guy? Yeah. Okay, that's a hit.
Okay. I think I have him targeted now.
You do. He takes damage. Anything
Alright,
else for Karn?
No, I'll end my turn there.
Okay. So next we get to these guys. He is going to go. And that's as far as he can go. This guy's gonna go. That's as far as he can go. And then this guy is gonna go. He's gonna come up to Maven. And he's going to make an attack against you. Okay. So that's going to be a miss. So he walks up and tries to hit you with
Gently
his
caress
kind of.
my shield. Gently caresses my shield.
He gently caresses your shield like no other lover before. And this guy's going to go.
Such excellent craftsmanship.
You can now see that one now. Darian's turn.
Okay. I can go there.
Yes, you can. I'll leave this turned on for a little bit and we'll see if we like it. Then I don't have to keep turning it on and off. Okay.
Do it. We're gonna just Scorching Ray. We're gonna
Okay.
go 1 towards the guy in front and 2 to the guy behind.
Okay.
Or actually, probably yeah. That's gonna be. Or at least we're gonna go the first one first to the guy in front.
Yeah. give him a control click and away you go.
Yep. It's a big spell list. Okay.
A wizard with a long spell list? What?
That's for the first guy.
That's a hit.
I'll do. It's dying. Okay.
And you
then
got
the
him.
other next one's gonna go to the guy behind him.
Okay. That's a hit. That was almost a 1, but that's a hit.
So close. Yeah, I saw that. 5. And then one more.
That's a hit as well.
For another 9.
Okay. So, at the top of the turn order, the object in the center begins to glow brighter and brighter. And as it does, if I can find my button here. Where are we?
Well, we're in the graveyard of the damned.
Oh, right.
Um,
Okay. So,
why does it always gotta be the graveyard of the damned? Why can't it ever be the graveyard of the mildly inconvenienced?
okay. Give me 1 second here. Where are... Oh, shit. 3. Okay. These things come out of the stone.
Oh heck.
The one in the back, so like towards that back corner where he was before, doesn't quite look like the other ones. You guys would notice this because it makes a sound, and there's shadows coming out of the top, and there's some form of undead that have now come out of this rock. You notice that the one in the back is dressed like Durin Hillbeard.
Uh-oh.
And Karn, you would notice that the other two look like the people who came to get him on horseback.
Uh-oh.
And
That's
now
not good.
we're at top of turn order here.
Let's help.
Oh, sure. Just have them all roll 21s. It's fine.
Something that a greater restoration can't fix, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just use one of those really high-level spell slots for sure.
So I'm pretty sure what it's been doing, and I might have to see if I can find a script for this. I think it rolls one roll for the same creature type, and then just says you all
No.
rolled this.
It tends to try and lump them in.
But
Make it easier,
let's see, what do we
but
got?
also harder.
Harder, sometimes easier. Durin walks up to you, Maven, and he makes an attack against you. Which for some reason he didn't target you because I'm an idiot. Does a 16 hit you? Or you? No.
Nope.
Okay. Creature number 2.
These things rolled ridiculous.
And he's going to attack Russell. He's gonna actually target Russell too. So that it works.
No.
That's how you know he means it.
Serpent bird.
A 9 is a miss. And then the last guy is gonna go. He's gonna walk up and he's going to attack Karn. He manages to hit.
Wow. He did it.
Okay, so you passed the con saving throw that you had to make. And I just got to double check if that's half damage or not. No? Okay. So you passed that. You took your damage. That's all this guy can do. These shadows that emerge from the top take off flying. Which guy goes first? This guy goes first. He's gonna go. He's gonna come over here and he's going to attack Zahel. Okay. Get this open here. Okay. And he misses. The next shadow is going to go. He's going to come over here and he's going to attack Russell. And then that's a miss.
Nice.
And then this last guy here. He's going to start booking it towards Darian. But he can't quite make it. Okay, so that's all he can do. Oh, that was his turn. Now we're over to... This guy now comes into view. And now we're at Zahel. What you got?
I think, or where is he? Okay, I'm going to cast rank 2 Bless.
Okay.
I think I have everybody I want targeted. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
I'm going to use Voice of Authority on Russell.
Okay.
Oh.
If I cast a spell, the spell slot of first level or higher, I can target ally with the spell. That ally can use the reaction immediately after the spell to make one weapon attack against the creature of my choice that you can see.
Okay.
So hit that shadow to the right of you, or hit that creature to the right of you.
This guy right here? I don't know if you can see my targeting. This guy?
Yep.
Okay.
Swing at him.
We're in a new... We got up to the top of the round, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick look at sneak attack. I don't know if it's once per turn or once per round. I don't know if I get that on this attack or on...
I believe it's once per turn. Which means you would get it.
I get it on my turn then.
Well, no, you would get it... If it's once per turn, because this is a Hell's turn, you would have it again.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, wait. If you use your reaction now, though, I guess that technically would mean you wouldn't get a reaction later, which isn't that big of a deal.
Wouldn't
Yeah,
Is
be
it
re-
not the
until my
reaction
next
from his
turn.
last turn?
Yes.
Like this would be my reaction
yep,
from last
yep,
turn.
yep.
I was just wondering if I would.
Yeah.
Let's see, why can't I get my character sheet? All right. Attack this guy with a short sword. Don't know why it added that D4.
Oh, bless.
Oh, okay. All right. 18. That hits.
Okay.
Okay, oh, whoops! I accidentally gave sneak attack to Sahel.
Nice.
You can remove that.
Yeah.
And keep player forward. Okay. Seven.
Okay.
So is bless based off Zahel's concentration for us?
Yes.
Okay.
Eat the thing.
Okay. Anything else for you?
I'll wait and do stuff on my flying sword's turn later, or
Well, it's technically on your turn. I think that we've been doing it. If I gave it 12, it jumped up above everything else, so I gave it 11 so it was closer to you. But we've been doing that on your turn, so we can do that now.
okay. Flying sword is going to move up here
Okay.
somehow and take a swing with advantage at the below me.
Okay.
As soon as I...
I think you have to target with yourself, though. Right?
I can try this roll and see what it does.
Yeah, give it. Whoa!
No. No.
The hell was that?
He has us all targeted still from bless, I think.
Oh.
Nice.
So he was attacking us.
I got the
Raider.
so I got the flying sword targeted at the correct creature, but not. Oh, this is nice. Do you want to undo all of that?
None of it was damage. It's fine.
Okay. Try this again.
There you go.
And I'll have to roll this twice probably.
Yeah, roll it again. There is an advantage button in the bottom left that you can click before you roll dice. But
Okay.
yeah, so I looked away for a second. I guess 14's already a hit, so we're rooting for crit, which we didn't get. So you hit him. Okay,
That is the end of my turn.
Russell.
Okay, well, Russell's gonna feeling a strange compulsion to attack this guy. He's gonna keep doing it. He's been commanded. So yeah. Does that hit? 13?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Since he's within 5 feet of a friend, I will put sneak attack back on.
Okay, you hit him good, but he's still around.
Yeah, he'll take his bonus action attack.
Okay. That's a hit. He's a lot more hurt, but he's not. I wouldn't say he looks like he's dying
Not
just yet,
dead
but
yet.
he's not undead.
was
Alright,
merely
so
a
Russell will
flesh
do.
wound.
Maven.
Okay. So I am going to cast Flame Blade, and I'm going to take a swing at the new boy.
Durin? You're gonna unkill Durin?
Yeah. So my fist glows green. I
Okay.
go take a swing.
That's a hit.
Takes.
He takes
And
8 points of damage.
damage gets flung to that boy. From
Okay.
Green Flame Blade.
Okay. Good.
That's it. That's all I can do.
Okay, Karn.
Okay. Ooh. Which one is Durin's fighting Maven?
Yeah.
So the two that came to retrieve him, are they fighting on this side right now?
Yeah, one of them's fighting you, one of them's fighting Russell.
Okay, so they're the ones that look like Durin. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna hit the one, I guess that's... Ooh, do I want to hit the one that's critical? He'll probably die for other reasons.
Your insurance will
the
go
one
up if you kill him.
True.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the one in front of me, the healthier one.
Okay.
Creature 3.
Okay.
I think he's targeted. Yeah. And I would like to apply Divine Smite to this.
Okay.
Yeah. Or, well, I guess it's when I hit, so one sec. I gotta undo that. Effects. Okay. Get rid of those. Alright, so I'll just roll to hit first.
That's a hit.
Okay. Now I apply Divine Smite. Okay, and then I roll the damage. Cool. And that's it for me. Or I guess before,
Yeah.
I'd just like to say something. I'd be like,
Yeah.
try and take these two and Durin alive, quote unquote, alive.
Okay. This one runs up behind you and he's going to attack Karn. And that should be a hit. I didn't wait, is it
the ties.
that ties? Okay.
Yeah.
I should have gotta remember to target people. 2 is this guy. He's gonna go he's also going to attack you. And he misses. It's not going to show the roll, but okay. And
Short.
next,
All your hidden rolls now.
it didn't even show for me. It was a 7,
So-
but it didn't show.
Just a small correction, because I forgot that I have Shield of Faith on. They need a 22 to tie,
Okay.
so that would have been a miss no matter what.
Oh, I moved these guys in the wrong order, but they can't.
It's okay.
They can't hit any. Actually, this guy could attack technically, so let's go
Do it.
back. Or wait. No, shoot. He shouldn't have moved at all. Okay. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, where are you? Okay, that guy. Okay, good. Okay. And then this guy is the one that we skipped. Okay, so this guy's going to attack Maven. We skipped him, we moved the other guy. That's a miss. And then the other guy's already moved. Darian's turn.
Okay. I'm going to walk up to roughly here.
Okay.
And then a 30-foot line. Can I get the 4 of them? Can I like flip that ghoul who's critical?
So what you want to?
It's a 30-foot line of fire.
Okay.
Can
Yeah,
I
sure.
get all 4
sure.
of them?
Yep.
Alright.
Sure.
So they all need to make dex save, but I should be able to make them do because I have them all targeted.
Yes. If you target them all, it should do the dex saves on its own.
Is actually gonna roll it. Oh yeah, that rolled all 4.
Okay. What do we got?
Success. Failure, success. Nice.
Do they
Well, it's
take-
half damage on a...
And it'll
no.
do that on its own.
Yeah, it'll know.
Yeah.
Oh, not that we need to back it up or anything, because it was a tiny, tiny hit anyway. That first hit wouldn't have actually hit me if defender wins ties,
True.
because he rolled a 22, which yeah. So I don't know why my AC's not working properly, but we can figure that out another
Okay.
time.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna move back to here.
Scaredy cat.
Damn,
Also
man.
kinda
I
like-
have 5 more. What was that? That was 10 feet, 10 feet? I have 5 more feet.
Yeah.
I'm back there now.
Also, kind of like leans back as like the line of fire goes by.
Yeah, it's literally just a line of fire that just shoots out from my hand. And it would, yeah. It'd pretty much graze your face, but not hit you.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay.
Doesn't want to be roasted today.
Durin is going to make an attack against Maven again. Wait. Is it not Durin's turn? It is... What's going on here? Yes, this guy attacks Maven. There we go. There we go. That's going to miss. That's all he can do. This guy is going to attack Karn with advantage. And that's a miss. And then this guy is going to attack Zahel with advantage. And miss. Okay, wait.
It wasn't targeted.
Wasn't targeted. Okay, 16. Is that a hit against you?
I've got an AC of 18.
Okay. And then this guy is going to make an attack against Russell. And he's going to miss. And this guy, he's going to run up on you.
It's fine.
And he's going to swing at you. And he's going to hit.
Tie goes to the defender.
Yeah.
Is that-
are
I'm gonna
you-
shield.
okay.
Bring my AC up by 5.
Okay. So is your AC 15 right on?
Yeah.
Okay. So he misses. You're going to shield.
Yes, I.
Now this guy gonna go. And he is going to shoot his short bow at you. And he's going to miss. And then we come back to Zahel.
I'm going to swing at this dude with my Mace of Awesomeness.
Okay. It's a pretty awesome mace, I have to admit.
It's true.
I don't know if it'll apply the effect correctly, but we'll find out.
It definitely won't, but we'll see. Did you... Yeah, you rolled to hit. Okay. What was the... How did the effect text read again? Or he's dying anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when I hit them, when I hit a fiend or an undead, it's an extra 2d6 radiant damage. Target has 25 hit points or fewer after taking this damage. It must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or be destroyed.
Pretty awesome.
Jesus.
It's going to be really good early, and it's going to just be okay later. Okay. Anything else for you?
He just came back.
Sword of Awesomeness is going to take another swing.
Okay. That's a hit. Okay, he's heavily wounded. Anything else for you?
Nope.
Okay. Russell.
All right. Russell's going to attack this creature next to Karn that looks like one of Durin's friends.
Okay.
And during Karn's command, he's going to put his sword away and start swinging with his fists.
Okay. That's a hit.
Okay.
4. Okay.
Is it heavy?
That was creature 3. Yeah, he's looking very heavily damaged at this point. You punch
Follow this up
him.
with a flurry of blows.
Okay,
He's gonna punch it a few more times.
do it up. That's a hit. Okay.
So close.
I'm gonna roll a d6. I forgot to have my sneak attack for my first hit,
Okay.
since it's within 5 feet of an ally. Okay, just want to add that on.
That'll do it.
Cool.
He's dead.
Let me see my flurry of blows. Can I split those up?
I think so.
Blows immediately after you take the attack action. You can spend 1 5 point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action. Okay, yeah, cool. In that case, I'm going to be swinging at this creature that's between Karn and Zahel.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure you can even move between them. It's really weird.
Yeah, I just didn't know if they had to attack the same person.
That's a hit. Okay, he's looking pretty wounded as well.
So we'll laugh at Bugbear as he knocks the other one out.
Sure.
Oh, that was supposed to be non-lethal. The one that's next to Karn. Yeah, that's why he put his sword away.
We'll put them off the tracker, but we'll remember.
And yeah, that's all I can do.
Oh, when you hit him with the fire, were you gonna keep him alive, or were you fully intent to killing?
Oh, I was just gonna kill him.
Okay. And on to Maven.
I am gonna do the same thing again, actually.
Okay.
Exact same thing. Him. Thunder punch. Oh, cool. And you're gonna shoot fire at the other creature.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Karn.
Okay. So both of the ones that were with Durin are down now.
Yeah,
So,
one of them is burnt, one of them is unconscious.
yeah. I don't really have any attachment to any of these other things I see, so I'm just gonna swing.
Okay.
Let's see, I'll target this guy. Wait, how do I know if he's... One sec. Okay, yep. Good. Um...
Okay.
Oh wow,
Hit.
okay. Alright, and I will once again apply Divine Smite
Okay.
to the damage.
Okay. You hit him good. He's very much feeling that.
And that's all I got.
Okay. So this guy is going to swing at Zahel. And he's going to miss. The other creature is just going to swing back at Karn. And miss. And then this guy's going to swing at Maven. He's going to miss. And then this guy's going to go. And he's also going to take a swing at you. That's a miss. And then Darian.
Okay. I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna walk to here. Here. And that's my turn.
Okay.
So like looks on it in awe at this. Like this is an ability he wishes he had.
Best part is I can give you it as well at some point.
Durin Hillbeard is going to attack Maven and miss. And then Shadow Dudes. First one's going to attack Zahel. What? What am I doing? There we go. And gives that. Gives that. He's going to miss. And then this. Did you un-invis yourself or are you still invisible?
Still invisible until I take an action or cast a spell.
So you technically get an opportunity attack there.
I'm not gonna take it.
Okay.
Because if I hit, that would make me visible.
He's going to target Russell. And
1d4 is not enough.
he's going to miss.
Yeah, let's dodge too much.
And then this guy is going to
Can't touch this.
do his short bow again. And he's going to miss. And then we're back to Zahel again.
Swing at the dude above me with my mace.
Okay. Miss.
Ooh.
I'm gonna swing at. Which one is the one below the weapon right now?
3. Which
No,
would be
it's not Durin or anything.
no.
Okay, he's gonna swing it in.
Okay. Hit.
I don't know if my bless modifier should count there either. I'll have to pay attention to that.
How many rounds is it supposed to go for?
Bless is like a minute, I think.
Okay, so that's like
But
that's
I don't like I'm blessed, but I don't know that the weapon is.
oh, yeah. The weapon shouldn't be blessed. Yeah. What did you roll? Ah, well, it's fine. Let it go.
It's a 14 plus 5. It should be.
Oh yeah, you'd still hit.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
9. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Russell.
Russell is going to take another swing at the creature between Zahel and Karn.
Okay.
He is targeted there. Now that our zombified buddy's down, he's gonna pull out his sword again.
Okay. Hit.
All right. Properly applied sneak attack this time.
Okay, you got him.
All right. Now that things seem to be well in hand here, Russell's going to bonus action or cunning action disengage.
Okay.
Approximately how up or high up are like these things from the steps below?
From the steps below. It's a
Yeah.
railing that would probably be at like chest height, all the way down the stairs. It goes down with the stairs.
Okay, so like this one over here isn't like level with this up here.
No, it would go
Gotcha,
down
okay.
with it.
All right. In that case, he's going to just kind of move over here, see if he can
Okay.
move over to start helping out Maven. Looks like things are mostly in hand over.
Okay.
Over Zahel and Karn are. And yeah, that's all for him.
Maven.
Same thing.
Eh.
I'm...
Okay.
Boom.
Now, are you swinging to kill or to knock out?
To knockout.
Okay.
And 5 damage goes to the other one.
Okay.
Flame blade.
Anything else for Maven?
No.
Okay. Karn.
One below me. I'm just gonna try and hit again.
Okay.
No divine smite this time.
No.
And this one I will just like. I'm assuming it's a skeleton by the picture.
This one here is actually it is not a skeleton,
Okay.
but what you want to do? What are you trying to do?
Does it look remotely human? Like, how fresh is this dead?
This one here is very decomposed. There's flesh dripping off
I'll
of its
crush it.
appendages. Okay.
I will crush it. It is dead.
Did.
And that's all I got.
Dead.
Okay. The next up is this guy here. He's gonna move down, and he's gonna, or I guess no, Durin's in that space technically. He's gonna stay where he's at, and he's gonna swing at Maven. He's gonna miss. And Darian.
I'm gonna move up to here.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna Tasha's mind whip, the one that was attacking me earlier.
Okay, so that's number 3, the one to the right.
Yep. Of course, succeeds. Well, it takes half damage. And nothing else happens. Other than the damage.
But you got him good.
God, I'm good.
Okay. We are back up to the shadow guy here. He's going to attack Zahel. He's going to miss. The next guy is going to take a step down, and he's going to attack at Karn. And that's a miss. This guy is going to switch his target up. He sees Russell approaching, and he's going to try to get him with a short bow.
Cover from the corner of this thing.
Yes. That's -2, right?
I think so for half cover.
Yes.
I think it's like +2 to AC actually, but it's not gonna matter.
Okay.
Oof.
You gotta curve that arrow.
He does 9 damage. And that's his turn. Zahel.
That's about as good as you could hope for in a crit.
That's the first. That's like the second hit they got all game, and it was only 9.
What is this doing?
Okay, I'm gonna cancel
Why is it
this.
doing-
It's in token lock move, so you just put it where you want to
Okay.
go, and then I approve it. It's basically,
Can
so
I like run there?
yep.
Okay, and I'm gonna swing at the buddy below me with my mace.
Okay, click the advantage button in the bottom left. There you go. That's a hit.
That's another hit.
What does that look wrong? Just completely wrong.
You,
Yeah, the first
you
the,
rolled a hit again.
the first yeah, yeah, there you go. And you roll min damage.
What's his HP?
He is I can't tell you what his HP is, but he is
If it's under 25, he poofs out of existence.
he poofs out of existence.
Is it a save?
That might be a save.
Yeah, I think he gets a wisdom save. Right.
DC 15 wisdom.
Oh.
Bitch.
Good.
Anything else?
My sword.
Right.
Guess I should
Yes.
have kept my mouth shut on that one.
My sword is gonna move over here
Okay.
and take a swing. Do below me to the left.
Okay.
The targeting is still from the sword. It's gonna screw up.
I think you got to click on your own character and then do the target for it to.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah.
Oh. Target him.
And that was missing the advantage. So I guess roll again just for crit's sake. Okay.
Whoops.
Give that damage. He takes 5 damage. He is moderate. Anything else?
I'm going to move down here.
Okay.
Or, am I allowed to move that twice?
Yeah, you can move as many times as you want. As long as your total doesn't exceed whatever you had before. So you were 5 to begin with.
20. Yeah, okay. So yeah, just move there. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. And Russell.
Okay. Russell's gonna take a few steps in this direction to get. Oh, yep.
Okay.
You need to. Yeah. Okay. He's going to throw. Oh, whoops. That's 25 feet away.
Do you want to go back 5 more?
Yeah, I need to step towards it 5 more. Yep. He's gonna throw one of his needles at that guy there.
Okay.
Try and finish him off.
The needle would be at disadvantage though, right?
No, because I'm 20 feet away. I moved in range.
Oh, you're shooting behind you. Sorry. I had him covered up. I thought you were shooting at the skeleton to the right. And I was like, why are you moving further away to use your needle? Okay. Yeah, okay.
Close
So
to
that's
that
a
guy. Try
that's
and
a
finish
hit.
him off for them.
Okay.
Alright. So sneak attack.
Okay, you got him.
Alright. He's going to come over here and he's going to attack this guy.
Okay. That's a hit.
Okay. I'm actually going to flurry of blows that one, I think.
Okay.
So let's go key point. Oh, whoops. Damage.
What was that D4?
That was damage. Did that not go through?
Okay, no, it did. I just got confused because you swung your sword and then you swung a D4 and then you swung a martial arts to hit.
Oh, my bad. I grabbed the wrong.
Okay, they both hit anyway, so if you just want to roll the
Yeah,
damage
both
for the
same-
other...
Both the same die.
What?
I said they're both the same 2 hit. Like they're both a D20 plus 5.
Yeah, but the damage, you rolled your martial arts damage with the sword hit.
Yeah, I was supposed to. It's flurry of blows, so it's 2 unarmed attacks.
Oh, so the mistake was the short sword roll, but they're both the same. Okay, okay, yep.
The mistake was the
Yep.
D20. The
Yep.
D4 is the correct damage.
Okay, you got it.
6 more.
Okay. He is in critical condition. He ate some bad spaghetti. He's not feeling good.
All right, that's all Russell can do.
Maven. What you got?
Russell, help.
I can't hear you.
That would help.
There we go.
I'm actually going to cast Magic Missile.
Okay.
So I'm going to cast 1 bolt at the dude in front of me and
Okay.
2 at the guy that's near the sword.
Sure. You got him.
Okay.
there.
Okay.
And I am actually going to I'm gonna start picking up and dragging Body Boy over this way.
Okay. Anything else for
Drag the
you?
body. Nope, that's it.
Okay. Karn.
Okay, might as well finish off this guy up here. So let's go here. And make an advantaged attack. Okay.
You got him?
Nice.
Okay.
7. Oh, I didn't have him targeted. My bad.
And it was 7?
7 slashing. Yeah.
Okay. That brings him in
And-
critical range.
Okay, that's all I got.
Okay. Darian.
I can't wait till I can attack twice.
Also, magic missile.
Okay.
Let's start with one on the shadowy figure.
Okay. You got him.
Nice. And then we're gonna do 2 on the skeleton.
Okay.
That's 120 range, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. It is. It is.
Say, I know it's really long. Okay. He's heavily damaged, but he's still
So that
there.
one not actually. Oh no, it did. We're good.
Anything else for Darian?
He's gonna move over to his allies a little bit more.
Okay. The skeleton notices that it got shot
Looks
with.
around and like points to the sword.
He looks around and he knows that he got hit with the magic missile up somewhere in that direction, but you walk in front of the big black object and he loses sight of you. And he's not very smart, so he's just gonna attack it. Same thing he's been swinging at this whole time.
Oh my god, he hits.
The only person to get hit. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I rolling hit again?
Very much hurt.
It looks like he misses actually.
Yeah.
That's that roll. Woof.
So he hits Russell smacks Russell around pretty good. He didn't like the laughing bugbear. He didn't find it funny. He thought it was distasteful. And Zahel.
Russell's not feeling so good, Mr. Stark.
You gotta click on your token.
I hate having pets. How far away is that?
Hey man, Russell's a person.
From you or from the sword?
60 feet.
Okay, I'm 60 feet from this dude, so
Yeah.
he's getting Sacred Flamed.
Okay.
This'll work.
Oof. That's not a good save.
I think he has to do a Dex DC 13 save.
Yeah, that's what it did. It rolled a 9 for
Okay.
that save. Yep.
So just roll damage for that then.
You got him.
He's dead.
And when you kill the very last of them, one sec here. When you kill the very last of them, the light actually goes out, and it's no longer green anymore.
Nice. We did a thing.
Who did it?
Yeah.
Of all
How,
the things that were already
Hey.
dead.
What?
how does the two unconscious ones look right now?
So they don't look. They look pretty beat up. They're gonna be unconscious for an hour. Zahel, by looking
Put
at
back on the
them,
map.
I can. 1 second here. You know, because you study undead like it's basically a pastime. Wait, what the fuck?
It's the best pastime.
Okay, 1 sec. I gotta put him on the combat tracker to do this. I'll put one of them on here because I think there's only one that you really care about. Why can't I move him? Oh shit. 1 sec. There we go. So yeah, Maven is dragging around the Durin corpse.
Yeah. as I landed the last blow, I go, "Oh, it's Doran."
But
Oh,
Oops.
Zahel would know that Durin and the two other guys, they do kind of look like this, but Durin was still in his Durin. They were still in the clothes that they were wearing. And any facial hair they had or hair was still there because they were fresh. You know that these are ghouls.
I'm gonna Sacred Flame the dude that's not Durin, without anybody prompting me.
Okay. His body turns to ashes. You know that ghouls will typically gorge themselves on any flesh that they can find, but typically they will pursue dead things before making their move on living creatures when they're just hungry. You also know that when somebody's turned into a ghoul, there's no way to reverse it. And there's only two ways to be turned into a ghoul. One of them is by magic, and one of them is by what they call the sickness, which is essentially kind of the whole zombie thing where you end up being bitten by a ghoul, you turn into a ghoul. And those are the only two ways.
Down.
I'm gonna say to Maven while Maven's dragging. Is there a reason you're dragging an undead behind you?
I noticed it was punched. It was Doran, so I decided not to kill. I didn't know.
Oh,
You get
Durin
Sacred
is
Flames, too.
dead.
You sacred
So-
flame it while I'm holding him.
Yep.
I'm
I just have his hands in my hands, and I'm like,
gonna
Well,
also cast a firebolt at it at the same time, and just read it off and throw a spell.
Okay, so the only thing left behind is a small silver key.
I'm gonna pick up the silver key then. I'm also just contemplating saying that I beat up the mayor. Does this make me the mayor now?
So Russell sees this key, and his mind immediately goes to a little box that may or may not be in the caravan.
If the caravan's still here.
Yeah, but for now, he's going to go retrieve his grappling hook.
Okay, you're able to
Mhm.
do that with
There-
ease.
Is
During
there
that
anything left
whole-
by the red dude that was there?
What was that, sorry?
Was there anything left by the red guy that was there?
He had an oddly fashioned dagger, but nothing else really on him. But as you go over to investigate and look at that guy, you also kind of see the different sides of this big black rockish type object. And on one of the sides of this object, you notice you notice this carved into the side of it.
What's written around the
Mhm.
outside?
What?
It looks like there's something written on the outside. Is it written in any specific language?
It's just that symbol.
No, I
There's
mean
characters
like,
all over that symbol.
yeah.
Oh, the script
Does it
on
look
the
like?
outside.
Yes.
That would be. What languages do you know?
Me
Yeah.
specifically?
Whoever's
Dwarf.
whoever's looking at this.
I'm gonna go take a look as well.
I am.
I know
Common,
Elvish and Common.
Undercommon. The only one that I don't that would be interesting that I might know.
Okay.
No, Celestial, Infernal, Gnomish.
Okay. None of you know what it says.
Would I know what the marking comes from, though?
Give me.
Would I recognize the pattern?
Give me an
Will I
Arcana.
recognize the pattern?
Give me a religion.
Can we determine what language it is? Give me an investigation.
Give me a flat int check.
A flat in check.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It was almost a 19. I don't care.
What the fuck?
I'm out.
Okay.
Oh, it was only Maven that had to do the int check. So Zahel, you know that this is you know this through your research into undead, that this is a symbol for necromancy. And Maven, you know that this is written in Abyssal.
I knew I should have went with Abyssal. That was one of my thoughts for my last language.
Is there anything else that you guys would like to do here?
This is gonna go around, loot, like, toss the rest of the corpses, see if they have anything on them. And also he's gonna like kind of take a look around to see if there are any like traces left by other people, because he knows that there were at least two more people on horseback there.
Yep.
Um,
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, during this whole entire time, have I ever heard an alarm go off in my mind from the caravan?
You have not.
Okay, good. All I need
It's
to
a
know.
good sign.
So you look for markings of two other people, but you don't see anything, which is odd because you notice that all the horses seem to be coming in this direction. But
Yeah,
at,
he's
at no point during your investigation did you see a divergence of track. Everything led the same direction.
just going to like kind of look over at the others. He's gonna mimic that, that town alarm bell noise again. He's gonna point at the red cloaked guy. He's gonna hold up two more fingers and kind of scratch his head.
Okay. No sign of the other two.
Are there any other robes on the other two shadowy figures?
Uh,
Or any
they
sign that they could have been the other two?
So when the shadows died, they dissipated and nothing fell from them.
Okay.
Russell's gonna go down and look around the pit, see if there's like
Okay.
any entrances or like crypts, catacombs, that kind of thing.
So you go down and you search around as you're walking through a lot of
Fortune
bones.
it goes too, because it's real.
Yeah.
It's real dark.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
See a lot of bones or a lot of moans?
Yes. No, you see a lot of bones. There's a lot of bones. There's a lot of what seems to be rotting and or decayed fabric. It almost looks like this pit was almost a mass grave, to be honest. But as you're kind of flipping through kind of the refuse that is these dead bodies and their clothes, you do notice two black cloaks in relatively newish condition.
Do they have like any pockets or anything?
They do not. They're just kind of like cape kind of stuff.
Okay, Russell will pick these up, one in each hand. He'll go back and show the others.
Okay.
I'd like to feel around this object in the center.
Yep.
For how sturdy it might be.
Yeah. You push your weight into it. You push a lot of your weight into it. It does not budge.
Does there appear to be any spot on it that is like weathered or weak, or like does it look like a new construction, or does it look like something that's been there a while?
It looks like something that's been here for a very long time. The only part that looks newish would be that cultish or the necromancy-ish symbol with the
Okay,
abyssal
so that was
wording
just
on it.
recently scratched. Okay. Interesting.
You can kind of tell because the cut marks are sharp, whereas the rest of it is kind of more, it's been weathered, to say the least.
I'd like to take my longsword and just like slash at the symbol to kind of like see if I can cut a mark through it.
Okay. And you're doing this with a sword?
My longsword. I just kind of want to try and
Okay.
deface the symbol some.
You hit the symbol with your long sword, but it just bounces off.
Right.
This is no ordinary stone.
I'm gonna try and hit it with my mace.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
You hit it with the mace of awesome, and it actually gives your mace a little bit of a scratch.
Oh.
Nothing happens to it, but it's a very hard.
I walk over and I mend the mace.
Russell's
Don't do
going
that
to.
again.
He's going to reach into his backpack. He's going to take out a set of sculptor's tools.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to try to do this properly. He's going to walk over, take his chisel, try to try to scratch out some of the lines. Or
So you take out your chisel, and you hammer away at the chisel. And while you do seem to make a little bit of impact, it doesn't seem to cut through like you would expect a normal rock to.
so looks at this rock, very confused, and he just shrugs his shoulders. This is beyond his experience.
I'm going to actually ask Darian, can you recreate that symbol in your book?
Sure. Gladly.
Write it and just write it down so that way we can have it for in case you need to ask about it.
Sure. No, I'll make note of the symbol.
Okay, you write the symbol down in your book. The book shudders.
What about the other book that I have? Did anything happen to that other book? That sketchy book?
No, nothing has happened to it, and you haven't really gotten around to reading the whole thing yet. You read some of it in the inn,
A little bit. Yeah.
but there's nothing really happening with that yet. It just seems like a good read at the moment.
Does that seem like a good read? Is good the right word for it?
Every read's a good read for Darian.
I don't know if I'd say every read is a good read. He'd read anything, but he also wouldn't always call it a good read.
Oh, so he's a book slut.
A little bit.
A little bit.
You got a raid.
Yeah, we did a little while ago from Fluffy. So I don't. Is there anything else you guys want to do here?
I think Russell's gonna start, mimicking the sound of like a cart or carriage wheels creaking.
Okay.
I agree. We should probably head back. Let's leave.
Makes sense.
So
I'm gonna try
feel
and
like
hit this thing
we-
with with Sacred Flame and see if radiant damage does anything.
To the stone.
Good call.
Yep.
You cast Sacred Flame, and the radiant damage, it's very bright, and when the radiance actually hits it, the radiance is diffused off in many different directions and makes a nice light white glow, but it doesn't actually damage the rock.
Yeah, I do not feel comfortable with this symbol. I feel like we need to report this to the nearest church. Maybe they'll have some better insight on it.
Hmm.
I'm not a religious man, but not a man either.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys head back out to the cart, and Ra is taking a nap in the cart. I'm assuming that she know that you put alarm, but I don't know if she fully knows what that meant.
I mean,
But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she knows what alarm is.
she's taking a bit of a nap. The Ox are taking a bit of a nap, and as soon as you guys get within sight of the cart, she wakes up. She's got very good hearing, and she plays it off like she's been awake the whole time, even though you guys can kind of see that she's a bit droopy-eyed. Whoa, the light's gone. You guys dealt with it?
Yes, we realized you were probably needed less light for your nap.
Oh,
So
no,
we
I
turned
was
it off.
just resting my ox.
I
asked
just,
her how
just
well
a poor
she-
joke. Sorry.
I asked her how well she knew Durin.
She says she not very well, but she's known him a long time.
Okay.
Just kind of more or less because he's the mayor. She's known him a long time, and she's known the family a long time. But him personally, they're not super personable together. They're not besties or nothing.
Yeah.
Kind of
I
like
report.
a small
Sure.
town, everybody knows everybody kind of thing.
Yeah, I report to her that we ran into who we suspect was Durin converted to a ghoul.
And she's saddened by this.
I might be your new mayor.
She's troubled by this.
Russell's gonna retrieve the little box in the burlap sack. He's gonna like point at Maven and like mimic the sound of like a lock clicking.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Well, I actually, well, do we want to open this box if we think this is the right key?
Russell
I ask
mimics the sound of a
everybody.
lock clicking.
Before I do that, I ask everybody.
I say it was for Durin. At this point, I don't think he's going to miss it.
Russell takes
Yeah.
out the silver key he found earlier and tries that while he's waiting.
That does not fit. It won't even fit in the hole.
All right,
It's a big key.
as new honorary mayor, I'll put the key into the lock and try to
like
unlock
holds
it.
the box out to let Maven unlock it, but he still holds onto the box.
Okay. You open the box, and inside the box is a single pill.
Like raining over it.
Is it blue or red?
It's actually gray and textured on the outside.
Okay.
Does Russell
Hmm.
does Russell know anything about this? He's seen, poisons and things of that nature before.
Give me a medicine check. So, you know that while it's not poison, It does have ill effects. You know that whoever swallows this pill will turn to stone.
Hmm.
I guess Russell will like very slowly close the box. He'll look up the others, and he'll like kind of like strike a pose very slowly and stop and mimic the sound of stone cracking.
Petrify.
He'll like point at Maven and tap his beak.
I'm getting good at this.
Why would the farmer want to give Durin
There was the
a pill that,
innkeeper.
or the innkeeper want to give Durin a pill that, huh?
So I'm gonna
Highly
give this one to Zahel. You would know that there are stories from back when undead were really toiling the land of specifically people higher up in the church at the time. If they thought that they may turn into an undead, would swallow a pill similar to this and turn themselves to stone as a way to protest becoming an undead.
So Durin was going to become a ghoul before he left.
He knew.
He knew, and he put the riders at danger with him. Hmm.
Did he know, or did he think it might happen, and that was precautionary?
If it
Could
was
also be related to where he was
precautionary, he
going.
should have taken it with him.
He
why-
said he left in quite a rush. He might have forgotten it.
Hmm.
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 Maybe not. I think the best course of action is to go onward and
Ugh.
ask lots of questions.
Yeah. Oh, I got a real big urge to go back and ask that innkeeper what the hell he's up to.
Just turn around.
Russell's gonna put this box away, and he's also gonna like look at Maven and hold his hand out for the key.
Yes. You just kind of put their hand out,
Take
just
the
puts
key.
it down.
He'll take the key and he'll like put it on like a bit of string that he has like the other silver key on that he hangs around his neck.
Okay.
There are a few other older keys on there too. He collects them.
Flip it into the right person's drink if you need to.
So Ra now has all the oxen up and ready to go, and she goes, "You guys ready to keep on keeping on?"
Are you ready to keep on keeping on?
I sure am.
Are you sure? You've been driving a lot.
That's basically my job.
Yes, but you do still need some form of sleep.
No, these things drive themselves.
That doesn't fill me with confidence that you would sleep and drive.
Ah, you're gonna tell me you've never?
No, not once.
Falling asleep at the reins.
I also don't normally drive. Normally in a cart.
That sounds about right.
Yes.
She goes, okay, let's pile into the wagon. We've only got a little bit longer to go, maybe an hour tops.
Okay.
So you guys
You're
all.
piling into the,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say after we pile into the wagon, thing I had forgotten I'd made a note of last time. Forgot about till I checked them right now. Russell's going to pull out the silver key they found in the goblin
Mhm.
den. He's gonna look at Darien and like I guess mimic a kind of like fanfare sound that he kind of associates with magic himself. He'll like hold it out to Darien and to kind of like drive the points home. He's gonna like mimic like somebody
Magic
examining like a
missile sound.
gem to see if Darien can if he can
Sure.
find it like see if there's any magic in this.
He'll, Darren will take it and check it,
Okay.
inspect it.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh, it's non-magical. I am a terrible person, apparently.
It just looks like a
Looks
normal
like it
key.
hit things.
It looks like, remember, there is an inset in there where it looks like something used to be is missing. You notice that. But it looks like a pretty cool collectible. You should be proud to have it
Looks
on your neck.
decent. It looks like it's missing a piece. So I guess we can keep on lookout for that. But other than that, doesn't seem to be anything magical, at least.
Russell nods his thanks. He's a little bit disappointed that he doesn't have a funny magic key, but
He'll give it back to Russ.
puts it back with the rest of his collection.
Okay. You guys all pile back into the wagon. And as you start to approach the city of Bellmoral, you begin to smell smoke. You begin to see flame. And you guys all, I assume, no one's going to get off of the wagon, but you guys begin to pick up speed and start to go towards the city.
I'm gonna poke my head out the front of the wagon and see what bullshit's happening this time. Oh, Ra,
Creepy.
why are you laughing like that?
That's not raw.
Is there chanting from inside the city? Is that where it's supposed to be coming from?
Yes, as you
I
get
didn't
closer.
get that. I thought it was raw too. It sounded like, yeah. Gotcha.
Stop laughing like that. Stop chanting. Where are you taking us?
You guys approach the city, and you see a whole bunch of people in black hoods standing around a fire, chanting, and you see one woman dressed in red, and she turns around and says, "I knew we were expecting company." And that's where we're going to end it for today.
Dang, dude.
At least we were expected, right?
As soon as we're done this, I'm abandoning this cart because it brings nothing but bad luck. Fuck this cart.
Right?
It
All these
doesn't have wheels.
delays.
It doesn't have wheels. It's killed Durin. It's gone. Like, come
Well,
on.
to be fair, I don't think the cart killed Durin.
The cart killed
Uh,
Durin. I don't
the-
care.
The delays in getting the cart running might have.
Yeah, no, that's true.
We're like
The cart
we're,
itself
like,
did not kill
behind.
Durin.
We're so behind because of this cart and its stupid owner.
I mean,
It's like someone planned this all along.
Yes.
there was a little while there where we couldn't see the cart, and then we didn't see what killed Durin. I'm just saying.
True.
I mean, it could be raw.
Okay.
Sleeping on the job.
We'll
Man,
be
I'm suspecting this innkeeper right now, man.
That too, man.
That's highly suspicious.
we will be back on the 20th with more of the Lich's Apprentice. Are we doing your D&D
Wait.
next week, Cal?
I believe that's the plan.
Okay, on the 13th, we're going to be on Cal's channel playing The End of Time. On the 20th, we'll be playing this again, and Sirenscape. Get a couple more dimes in there.
Oh, gee. You know what's a
Yeah.
great program? Sirenscape.
Oh,
Sirenscape.
Sirenscape is a great program. Can you tell me
Sirenscape.
more about Sirenscape?
You
Added
can make
great
sounds and
ambiance.
things.
Make ambiance and chanty noises and everything
You know, I
else.
heard it wasn't as good as Cyclopscape.
I also, before you mention that day to do D&D, that is Father's Day.
It is. So we
So,
might
I don't know if I'm
Giving
doing
that, I'm
anything.
giving
Yeah.
that head. I'm just gonna say I know a few people are fathers.
yeah.
I am not.
Yeah.
So
It's also going to be tentative for me for the next little while
Yeah.
because I have a second child any week now. So we'll play that one by ear though.
So yeah, we might need to take a little bit of a break, but hopefully 20th or
Hopefully
somewhere
not.
between the 20th and the 22nd, we can get one more in, and then you guys can resolve this cliffhanger. But thanks
Yeah.
for watching.
I-
Oh, go ahead.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, I just thought I figured I'd mention it before you go
Yeah.
and say, hey, we're coming back on the 20th.
Oh, uh-oh. What did I do? I clicked a
Uh-oh.
thing. I broke everything. Oh,
Did you break
was
Siren? Did you break
Oh my god, he
Sirenscape?
broke Sirenscape.
look at this.
He broke
It's so
Sirenscape.
broken.
I'm just gonna end the
Why
stream.
did you break
I'm just
Sirenscape?
gonna end